hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for our next episode this afternoon, evening, or morning, depending on where you are in the world. We'd like to thank you for tuning in. We're very excited for our next episode this afternoon. For those that are new to the podcast, let me introduce myself. I'm Dana. I am a cosplay con staff photographer and event photographer. You may have seen my photographs with MomoCon, DragonCon, Anime Week in Atlanta, and even with DC Comics. I'm a voice actor and event planner and a whole lot more. And now I'm going to hand it over to the founder of the Moana Nui Podcast, the champion of all people, the beautiful and lovely Moana.
Aloha mai kako, everyone. Welcome to another great episode here at the Moana Nui Podcast. As I said, my name is Moana, and as the founder of the podcast, I also am the author of The Adventures of Nakoa and Ohea children's book series, editor and publisher for the Wild Chronicles comic book series, and as they mentioned, of Indigenous African diaspora and POCs, all our community. We listeners listening live or recorded, we're excited to have you here on the show. And I'll pass it back to Dana, and she'll introduce our talented guest that is waiting patiently in our backstage.
Yes, we're so excited to go ahead and introduce our next guest. Greg Anderson Elysée, is a Brooklyn-born Haitian-American writer, filmmaker, model, and educator. He is the writer and creator of the award-winning comic book and graphic novel series, Sanana. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. He's probably going to correct me. The Were Spider, a coming-of-age dark fantasy book about the son of Anansi the Spider, drawing inspiration from Black myths, folklore, and spirituality. He's also the creator of the sci-fi series Marassa and other works, and is the writer of 33 Arts' OneNation Stronghold. Through various platforms, he continues to fight for more inclusion and better representation when it comes to people of color and sexualities. And now we'd like to bring our very special guest. I'm so excited about our friend, brother in the indie community, and much more, Greg Anderson Elysée. Hello, Greg.
How you guys doing? What's going on, Dana, Moana?
Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're so excited to have you a part of the show and everything. I'm going to hand it over to Moana to kick everything off for the show. And let's see.
All right, cool.
And go ahead, Moana.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Greg. It's great to be able to have you on the show. I know we've been planning this for a while, so it's awesome to get some time to chat, because at cons you don't always get to do that. But with most of our guests, we like to start with the Pico, or what we call the origin story. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you found yourself in comics.
So I was born and raised Brooklyn all my life, except for maybe 3-4 years I spent in Haiti when I was a baby, and I came back and started school. And around, I'd say, the second grade, I discovered comic books. I was passing by a comic book shop, and that was it. That started a whole love affair that I've had. And I was always into writing since the first grade, and I was into drawing at the time. And over time, it's just, when I learned about comic books, it was like my mind just opened up, and I was getting introduced to a lot of fantasy shows and sci-fi shows. horror. I was a huge horror nut because of my mom, and so a lot of that started to all come together into what I like to present in terms of story, and wanted to see more, um, I guess, blackness uh,
Mm,
depicted in the things that I liked. And so I
yes.
guess in a way that was my origin story of wanting to see more of me in the things that I enjoyed as a kid.
Oh, definitely. I love it. All right. Now, of course, your storytelling is influenced by African mythology. What inspired you to create your universe and start your your series that I know I'm butchering the name, Asanana, the series.
It's Nana.
It's just pronounced Nana?
Is Nana. Is
Is
Nana.
Nana. Is Nana. Okay.
No, I mean, I always tell people this. I was a huge Greek mythology nut. I still am. I was obsessed since Hercules and Xena from the 90s. I watched every
Yes.
episode, and I used to try to study a lot of the characters that would show up on the show, whether they were like guest appearance or gods, and I was always very fascinated by them. And my mom introduced me to Clash of the Titans, and that made
Mm.
me fall in love with Greek mythology even more. And from there, that was just my thing. And I discovered it sometime in high school. I think it was senior year. There was a book that one of my art teachers had, was a book of various cultures of different deities from various countries. And of course, the first thing I went to was Greek mythology. And after I went through that, I was like, I wonder if Haiti has any gods or deities. And I looked through that, and they had some images and some write ups of them. And I was like, holy, like this is pretty cool. I didn't know about this. And then I started looking at other black gods and realizing, yo, I don't know any of these folks, but I can
Mm.
school people on Greek mythology. And
Mm-hmm.
so that became my sort of inspiration of trying to dabble a bit more in um, black culture in terms of stories and deities and heroes. And there's still a lot that I'm learning because it's like it's a well. You have all these various countries where black people just reside, and they all have their various stories, and I'm only just scratching the surface. You know, if someone tries to ask me certain things, I'm just like, oh, I'm still learning, you know. And so it's like as I'm still learning, I'm putting that into the stories that I'm writing, and as a way of
Yes.
sort of saying, yo, like learn with me, you know, like let's figure out who these
Mm.
characters are.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Yeah, that's really cool because I feel like I do the same, you know, when I create. It's like I'm not the expert at it, but I'm trying to learn about it and I just want to share it with you. In hopes also too that someone who is an expert will come and school me up too. Help me learn faster for sure. Um, were there like similarities between like Haitian mythology and Greek mythology that you kind of gravitated towards?
Well, I feel I like the categories. I'd say of this god, he reigns this domain. This god, like the people worship this person for this. And one thing with a lot of the like when it comes to Haitian, is the fact that sometimes they're not really referred to as gods, but they're the closest thing to gods. They're essentially like
Hmm.
spirits.
Yeah.
And the thing now, when it comes to how they're represented, unfortunately, a lot of it is in a negative light as opposed to Greek. And it could be a
Mm,
little tricky, even saying that it's mythology. And so, generally, I like to say tradition because I know it's a general spirituality and tradition that many people to this day still follow.
Hmm.
And it's always something that you sort of in the middle ground of wanting to respect the traditions and show honor and wanting not to continue the bastardizations that Hollywood has continued to do when it comes to these important figures. And so um, I have to say I haven't stumbled on too much similarities between certain figures, but there are many studies that showcase that they may have been some influence of Greek gods from the Orishas from West Africa,
mm,
like, and so there's though that aspect I haven't studied too much on, but I've definitely read up on a couple of stuff that I was like, that is a very interesting um, fact, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
There, of course, there's going to be people with theories of saying no, it's coincidence, no, but then there's people like, nah, I can pinpoint became this for this culture. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because that seems to always be the case. A lot of Africans were always influencing some aspect
Mhm.
of someone else's culture, you know?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if you see like migratory of people for the century, the Americans traveled up, into Europe and essentially provided culture to a lot of those, older, I don't know what you call it, communities, peace, that area. So for the religions to start to reflect that, I don't doubt that by one bit. Can I prove it all, like every single fact? No, but if you go study enough, you'll find it. Everything turns black.
Yeah.
Oh
Definitely.
man, that's right. Power to the people. Uh, so we really wanted to highlight you're working on right now. That's currently live and funding on Kickstarter. Isnana the Were Spider Birthday Day. Can you tell our
Yes.
audience about that current comic for Isnana and how it's kind of giving something to the children?
Sure. Well, I will say the general gist, as Dana mentioned before, is him being the son of Anansi the Spider, and essentially, his Nana is supposed to be a representation of the next generation,
Oh,
understanding our roots and trying to learn the roots of our stories. Because essentially, when I started to learn more about Black mythological and spiritual figures, I would say certain stories to some of my friends, especially characters that I thought maybe they knew, like Anansi, because Anansi is someone that I always sort of known since I was a kid, and they'd be like, "I don't know what you're talking about," you know. And so I wanted to change that narrative a little bit, where each story is Nana sort of meets or deals with different figures from various other Black cultures, and sometimes they'll be good, sometimes they'll be mischievous, or sometimes they connect to the general story. And for birthday day, I wanted to sort of showcase Isnana before, I guess, he comes to our world. So in the first volume, we learn that he comes to Earth from his world to find his father because Anansi goes missing. So he goes to seek, where is he? I have to bring him back home. And we never actually get to see too much of how his life was from before he came to Earth. And so there's a lot of what's going on, Keith. There's a lot of things that's mentioned throughout the series, like sort of like how his relationship used to be very weird with his father, and we never actually see that. And we see a little bit of it in this story. And so essentially, this was supposed to be a prequel of showcasing what his life was like, and the fact that he is an oddball. And we keep mentioning that he's an oddball, but we never actually see it. And this is the chance for us to see that, and also build a bit more of a supporting cast who will all sort of show up again later on. And so a lot of this is not only just revealing a lot of different aspects, but also setting up for future storylines. And essentially, again, birthday day. It's his birthday, and he has to share his birthday with various siblings, and he always feels invisible. And so his friends, who are like his ride or dies, they come, they take him out, they run away from home, and they go on a crazy, a sort of fun adventure. And a lot of it is the theme is of like friendship and stuff like that. And I definitely wanted to showcase it in a very positive, almost kiddie like type of thing, because in this sense, Isnana is a kid in this part. So I felt like the art from George Gant, it reflects what I wanted to do with the story.
Yes, Brad says, keep
awesome.
up the good work, sir. I've been enjoying your content.
Thank
Yes.
you, Brad.
Brad's a huge advocate of our independent community. He's always up in the starters, top 5 backer.
He's always in the top 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well, of course, as you explained everything, and of course in your introduction, clearly, Greg, you feel a sense of pride in your Haitian roots and in voodoo. What are the most common misconceptions about voodoo and voodoo that you've encountered?
Man, there's like a whole list. I mean, the unfortunate thing about voodoo too is the fact that you also have a lot of people from the country who have been conditioned to believe that it's something that they should be fearful of. But it's the main thing that gets me when it comes to the representation is the fact that sure, it can be a little exotic and sort of creepy if you don't know what's going on, but it's the fact that a lot of these movies showcase it as a source of horror,
Mhm.
as the evil crap that's going on. And from my own sort of research and studies and talking to people who are in the faith, a lot of it is really just about worship of ancestry and healing and protecting the people that you love, the people around you. And of course, like any tradition, any religion, there's people who's going to abuse whatever power that is. Power can be abused, it can be used as a way to help people, and it's just like any other belief system.
Mhm.
And so the thing that a lot of the misconceptions comes from the fact that it tends to always show the abuse of power.
Yeah.
They barely ever show the healing factor, the community aspect of it, the coming together, the family. It's We never actually see that depicted, and so that's something that lately, I'd say the past couple of years, there's been a shift of seeing that, and that's due to a lot more Black people starting to do research on their own sort of roots, and becoming a bit more Afrocentric or woke, as people say, and starting to realize, yo, this is actually our culture, and you've been seeing it represented a little better in the media. Lovecraft Country, they had
Yes.
one episode where they used a voodoo priestess to help out the
Mhm.
evil white that was possessing the house. So yeah, I'd say there's a shift happening, but a lot of that also has to come down to a lot of us as Black folks not accepting being spoon fed the same negative imagery like American Horror Story when they showcase voodoo.
Mhm.
That was just disrespectful. But a lot of Black people saw Angela Bassett being dope until they was like, "Oh my God, I love this season." So
They always have to have that one person to make us be like right on that edge, right on that edge.
Yes, skirting that line for sure.
Like, I don't totally hate it, but that part I hate. But then you look at Angela. I'm gonna keep watching for her. Now, once she's out, I don't want to watch it anymore.
The woman does not age. What can I say?
No, she doesn't.
I love her so much. I love her so much.
It
Yes.
says, Keith says, definitely sounds fun. Love the art with George. Brad is hitting us with the question of any new shirts in this campaign. I always get positive comments when I sport my Is Nana's wear.
So we have this new shirt I'm rocking right now.
Woohoo!
Oh.
The history of his Nana. We get a lot of different panels from the different parts of the books. Like we have from Volume One here, the ballads, a whole bunch of different parts, and we also have the very first Is Nana like picture that's ever been drawn.
Oh,
That
no.
wasn't by me. Wait, there we go. Yeah, you get a little bit of that. So yeah, you'll be able to get this and any other T-shirts that anyone has missed out. Because generally, previously, I would just only put the most recent shirts, but I'd never put the ones that we had before. And so, given some people have been asking for certain ones, I was like, screw it. This campaign, whichever one you want, just come by.
Yeah.
Nice.
No. Nice. Looks like, yeah, Keith says, love that episode, but man, it creeps me out. Not because of the voodoo, but the ghost. And so yes, definitely. But that is, I'm excited about the new shirt and everything. Yeah, and I'm definitely excited about Keith. Excuse my manners. Hello, Keith.
You all
But
good, Keith.
I'm, Gregory knows I'm a fan already. Definitely when I see you next, you got to autograph my last stuff that I got because don't have your autograph on it, so you'll be autographing some stuff. But yes, I'm very excited and definitely allowing your comics to be that vehicle to be kind of that myth buster to change a lot of that negative concept that's being put out there about the about voodoo and a lot of the Haitian spirits and quote unquote gods that are currently in entertainment, that you're starting to change that shift and give it in a whole new light. So I definitely, if you haven't picked it up, definitely check out the Kickstarter so you can pick up some of those previous issues occurring in the current one, but also learn a little bit more about is Nana and some of the other gods and spirits that Greg just told us about. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah. So, like, what are some other things that rewards that people can get on this current campaign? Is it a shot? Are you compiling like different like stories about Isnana into one thing, or is it just a one shot for this one?
Well, this one is currently just a one shot. We've had
Okay.
2 other one shots that have come out previously, and I have one more one shot coming in. I was gonna do it later this this year, but I might just push it to early next year, just to give a bit of a breather space for people. But
Yeah.
so we have rewards. There are those rewards. We have the previous Isnana volumes. Uh, the T-shirts, as I mentioned as well. There's an Anansi the Spider notebook that's designed by David Graham, one of the Isnana artists. Drawstring bag, which do I have here? Yeah, this is pretty dope. I was very excited when
Oh,
it came.
nice.
Nice.
Yeah, and the
I need
quality is
that.
really, really cool.
Oh, and
Yeah,
it's on both sides, not single
yeah,
sided.
yeah.
Nice.
So have that. A couple of prints. My sister provides one of the prints as well, which I was very excited about. I was very happy when she showed me. One from John Jennings
Oh,
and
sweet.
David Kramer as well. And there's a pop toys. So if anyone missed out on that, anyone missed out on the trading cards from the previous campaigns, they will also be available as well.
Nice. Hey. So it looks like, let's see, Keith's hitting you with a distributor question. He says, I need that trade for my table.
Yeah,
And of course,
I got you, Keith. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out.
and okay, here's a good question coming from JD. I know Chucky the killer doll uses voodoo to transfer his soul into the doll. How do you feel about that? Cultural appropriation? I mean, remember, Chucky is a pasty white ginger.
So, oh god, I really enjoyed the original Chucky movie, but that scene always annoys me, especially because of the god that he sort of invokes for that to happen.
Mm,
And like I remember it's Damballa, and Damballa is like one of like the holy figures of the faith. And so I'm just like, yo, I know if I was a practitioner, I would have been very offended by this.
yeah,
But that's the thing, though. Has done that since I guess what the 30s, the 40s, ever since like White
yeah,
Zombie showed up they've been using voodoo as a way to bastardize, and a lot of that came from colonialism as well. Uh, Slave masters telling a lot of black folks, your religion is evil, is devil worship, and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of that, of course, they pushed that further with the horror films and the TV shows and the little stereotypes that we have and all the jokes and insults that we used to have for Haitians growing
Yeah.
up. And now it's as I said, it's starting to take a different tone. You still have some of that, but then you have a bit more respect for other cultures over
Mm-hmm.
time, which is finally, but still more could be done. I feel like there could be a lot more mainstream showcasing from people who actually know the religion and the traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, they can do something. But at the same time, I know they wouldn't want to spill too many secrets because you need
Yeah.
to be like initiated, and there's certain things that you have to be a part of that culture to have access to. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that part because I see a lot of similarities in terms of like Hawaiian traditions and beliefs as well. There's a very thin line about like sharing culture, but then also there's certain things that's like not to be shared,
Yeah.
widely. Um, and there's also kind of like that clash between those who have continued in Christian or Catholic traditions, and then those who follow the other Hawaiian traditions and spirituality practices, and
Yes.
sometimes even going against family members who are like, can't you can't respect the old gods, that goes against Christianity, like,
And it,
it's just like, come on, man, like, really. And it's just sad when I see like those types of views separating and splintering families. um
mm-hmm.
so I'm with you too. Like, I definitely want to see more stories from the authentic perspectives and people who are actually practitioners, whether it be Haitian, Hawaiian, all of the different indigenous beliefs. Because if you look at them, like, you can see a lot of similarities, right? We might have different names, but a lot of the elemental
Yes.
figures in there are all, not all, but there are a lot of similarities between the cultures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very cool. So, in addition to Isnana, you also have your other series, Marassa. Can you tell the audience a little bit about that one and how they can purchase it?
okay, so there's a lot of BS behind the scenes when it comes to Marasa, unfortunately. But Marasa was a book that I created a few years ago, which sort of showcased more African spirituality and a futuristic sci-fi setting, so a very Afrofuturism type thing. And it's about brothers and sisters who are space pirates who sort of come back together and go on some type of adventures and other bounty hunters getting involved and pirates looking for treasure and it was gonna be a huge thing. Right now, I don't know if there's any prints available for purchase. I think um, the publisher I don't want to name will has it on his sites to purchase the digitally, or honestly, you can just reach out to me and I'll just send it to you for free. I really don't care, but but it is a book that I'm very 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 proud of. And yeah, Marasa was I will work my ass off to try to get that going again
Mm-hmm.
at some point.
Yes. Yes. Malachi says, "What y'all doing in here?" I love Malachi. Yes, I am still, I'm not gonna hold my breath, but I'm still hoping to get my issue 2 from Who Shall Not Be Named.
Oh my god, you still haven't got.
I I got that and a few other things that I still need to get.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know both you and Robert. Yeah, have y'all's pains from that. On another show, everybody. On
Yes,
another
yeah.
show.
So there's a question from Keith. Are there any other Haitian creators you want to work with?
So I am currently working with Dorothy's Jean.
Nice.
I'm her editor for a few of her books right now. So we've been working on a technical level. I've been helping her, structure and form her stories, and it's been nice seeing her grow. It's been really really cool. And so I don't know if she'll credit me in her books, but know that I'm her editor for those books. If she wants to credit, it's cool. But I've been having a lot of fun working with her with that. Newton Littlevo, who does Crescent City Monsters, we actually have a crossover of his Nana and Crescent City Monsters coming out. The script is written.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, tell me when that one is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like a free PDF for readers. We're just waiting on Massimiliano, who did the art for The Gentleman with me. We're waiting on his schedule. That way he can start producing those pages. For Showtime, for Showtime, originally Chuck Collins was actually my first pick for the artists, and we were gonna start working on that together, but schedules happened, and so Chuck is definitely an artist that I wish, that I hope we can do something together. Because every time we talk, we come up with this new great idea, and I'm like, Negro, we ain't gonna work on that. Like I know, if he was here, he'd be like, no. But, we've had so many concepts, but one day, hopefully, Chuck Collins and I will have something.
Nice. And Keith, you said, is that the company that's holding Robert up too? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, free them. I want my Kickstarters. I want all 4 of them. I got 4 that are 2+ years back. But once again, another episode. I can go on a whole tangent on that. Greg has seen the evidence on that too. And so has Robert.
We're the bad guys, though, in this story. For some reason, we're the bad guys.
Yes. But like I said, documentation always speaks, and I got screenshots of lots of screenshots. That's all I gotta say. Because in the courts, they care about is documentation. You can say whoever's bad guy, but documentation says otherwise. Oh well.
Right.
All right. Well, let's see. Someone says, it's great. Gerald says it's time for that book. Okay, you have to kind of give us the 411. What is going on with this Jeremy book that he's referring to?
Jeremy Tableau was the first character I was working on before his Nana. I was doing a lot of short stories with him, and I've had various artwork produced by him. And I was working on a comic book with him, but I had a slight disagreement, I guess, with the artist in terms of how we were wanting to go with it, and in terms of the work environment. And so we just decided, screw it, shelve it. And I created his Nana as sort of like my backup. And when his Nana became what it was after volume 1, it was like, I can't leave Jeremy behind. And I ended up bringing that character into volume 2. And they actually have like a little sort of battle back and forth between each other. So sort of like my kids coming together in some way.
Gotcha.
But I've had some people who still remembers Jeremy from way back then, and they'll ask me, and I know Daryl Toe, who drew volume 2, the main story, he actually did like a sketch of Jeremy randomly once, and I was like, we should do something. But it's just time-wise, honestly.
Okay. Now, on the previous Clubhouse with MechaCon, you received some glowing praise from Mr. Nancy himself. Did you follow through and reach out to him And what might be in store for you? Any collaborations?
I don't know if I can talk about that. I mean, we communicated. We've communicated.
Okay, okay.
We've had a couple of conversations. Um, we talked about ideas. I don't know if anything is coming out of it. But at the same time, I don't even know if I could even speak on it.
Okay. But I'm
Um,
going to speak stuff in the universe. You're going to have a comic based on Mr. Nancy, and he's going to voice it.
That's what
It's
I'm
gonna be
saying.
live. Yes, I'm going to speak that into the universe. Speak it. There you go.
Yes. I had to ask that one, like, because I needs to know. But no, totally respect. I know how it goes.
We're going to let that marinate and let it cook like some gumbo. Let it get all flavorful. And then when you're ready to announce it, we'll have you back on the podcast and you can announce it to the world. Yes. Yes, Keith. I'm naming it and I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it on Greg's behalf and I'm putting it out there. I'm also naming and claiming I'm going to win the Mega Millions. And I'm going to put out. So if anyone have any winning numbers, bestow it behind me and let's make it happen. I'm putting my name on it. Yes, I am.
That's right. Oh gosh.
Yes, Morgan. Unfortunately, we cannot cuss him out. And talking about this is terrible. Well, this is as close as you're gonna get. You should have came on the show. I'm sorry.
F you, Morgan.
Yes, you may get banned again.
You stay banned. We still gotta get you that Facebook jail shirt.
For real. We're gonna give that to you in person. All of us are gonna autograph. We're gonna have a whole, have some money on the books for you for when you go in jail again. It's not fair. No, it's not fair. I told you need to purge your friends list. It's somebody on your friends list that's doing this.
Yes, snitches get stitches.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Oh goodness.
Alrighty, so speaking of that, so last year you had a successful Kickstarter to release the latest comic, OneNation Stronghold. Can you tell the audience a little bit about that comic and what makes it different from Isnana and the other stories that you write?
Yeah, so OneNation was actually was a universe that Jason Reeves, who is the publisher of 133 Art, he created this this universe of various superheroes and this crazy world building idea that he has. And he created this character Stronghold, and he reached out to me after volume 1, and I guess from seeing all my posts of being this advocate for diversity and proper representation, he was like, hey, I have this queer character. I think I would like to see if you have any ideas, if you could flesh him out or something. And I was like, sure, whatever. And originally, the character was actually a white man with albinism, and along the way, he sort of shifted into a black man. And I remember for a while, I was like, yo, you're typecasting me, man. Everyone wants me to write in these queer black characters. But then after a while, I was like, nah, this is the way to go. And it opened up a whole different avenue of the background that the character deals with. And essentially the story is about this this superhero with super strong. He's a leader of this community of superpowered beings who come down to Earth after a war, and they sort of do like these humanitarian efforts. And Stronghold, in the story, you see sort of like his journey from self-hatred, given that he grew up being very homophobic, despite being gay himself, being very closeted and dealing with a homophobic and racist family, and him being biracial and living with his racist white side of his family. So sort of like, how does that, affect somebody growing up, and how do they break away and become, the man that he becomes at Stronghold, that we have recognized him a little bit as. And so creating some of that context, that background. Jason has given me a lot of free reign to just have fun with it. But of course, he's the editor, so he can say, "Oh, I have this idea instead," but it's just been a lot of fun. It's work for hire. It's very similar to the Gentleman when I was doing that work for hire. Those are not characters I own or created, but I had a pretty big hand in developing, I guess, the mythology for them, or backstory rather.
Very nice, very nice. Morgan said it was probably you reporting him. And it's between you and Danny. And looks like, and Keith says, every time I say that line you just mentioned, the book sold.
Hey.
There you go. And of course, for those that are wondering, it's in the comments of the link to the Kickstarter for Isnana. So definitely take a look at that. Now, earlier you mentioned it, and of course I got to mention it now also. Creativity truly runs in the family. Not only are you a comic book artist, but your sister is an artist. You talked about her doing a little something with you on this Kickstarter, but will you have any other upcoming projects you plan to work with your sister on?
Everyone's been asking me that for years.
I mean, she's got some crazy talent. I mean, that artwork she'll be sharing.
I'm like a soccer brother, like to the max when it comes to her. Like I'm always pushing and supporting.
Yes.
We are working on something. The holdup has been me because I've just been so flipping busy. But she has a concept that she has been working on herself, and she doesn't feel like she wants to be a writer. She just wants to work on the artwork, and so she has the concept, she has the characters, and she's just like, do something with them and I'll draw them. And so that's gonna be what we will produce. As to when it's gonna happen, I couldn't quite tell you, and a lot of it is on me because of just time wise, but also I do know she's trying to strengthen parts that she feels she has a weakness on before she can dabble too much. And so we're getting there. We're getting there. And I think whatever we produce most likely will be very dope because I'm a huge fan of her artwork. Even outside of just being a brother, like I'm a fan of artwork.
Definitely. She's come up with some great pieces. Morgan said that pitch is fire for OneNation.
Guys, can you guys give me like one moment?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So everyone, as you're hearing, if you're just first time hearing about Isnana, you want to learn more about that, definitely check out the Kickstarter. It's in the comment section also. Definitely check out OneNation. Morgan says, I still hate him though. Yeah, y'all got that brother, that sibling rivalry, that true rivalry. It's like, I hate you too. But I love you at the same time. But I'm not going to tell nobody I love you. But definitely check out his works. Everything, the trading cards he talks about, true, definitely fire on those. Don't definitely get a hold of those trading cards. They're Morgan says straight like that. But yes, get an opportunity to grab that. He also had a custom Funko Pop made of Isnana. Definitely grab one of those. So definitely you got some great content and great items that you can definitely pick up with the Kickstarter and much more. Yes, Morgan also was talking about you. He said he still hates you though. I told him that's like a typical sibling rivalry. Y'all hate each other in public, but y'all really love each other, but y'all gonna talk smack about each other.
He doesn't want people to know that he has a crush on me. It's okay.
Boom.
Mm.
I mean, you
That
do be
answers
thirst
a
trapping
lot.
out here. I'm just saying. This is getting dropping thirst traps all the time. I'm just saying.
I mean, he does be dropping those thirst traps, though. And Greg does too. So it's like, it comes from both angles. And then Morgan kept slipping on, for his Kickstarter for Lumberjack, he could have really kicked it out the park with the STEMI package, but he slept on a STEMI. He stepped on the STEMI package. But hopefully next time. I told him he need to go ahead and offer that he'll dress up as Lumberjack and take some photos of him as Lumberjack. Be making that money in less than 24 hours. Hit go. I'm telling you.
I think
he talking about man. He talking about you always on that. Oh, and now he's telling me not. Hey, Morgan, it's true. Now, when you're ready to actually be on the show the same time Greg is on, then you can counter that. But right now, we're going to just be hitting everybody with the truth. So
Just saying.
Just saying. The truth shall set you free. Hey, exactly, Keith. If you're able to get that money, like I told, right. like the people told you, Morgan, make that money. Don't let that money make you. He said we must want to get our show canceled.
Shoot.
All right, Morgan. If you want to talk all this, see all three of us at BlurCon in July. Yeah. See us at BlurCon at July. Bring your money. Bring your comics.
That's right.
All right. But of course, like you said, some of the amazing stuff you're having with the Kickstarter, we definitely, let's see, I'm going to have to pull it up since it is live now. It officially kicked off, earlier this week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last week for June 2nd.
Last week. Moana can tell you, my weeks is blurring together. I've been going nonstop this week.
Yes. But it's
I
already
really came
almost,
from another thing from work and came right onto the podcast. Yes, goodness. I'm going to pull up the Kickstarter so we can have the audience kind of see what you have going on with the Kickstarter, so they can see some of the amazing things that you're offering on the Kickstarter. So I'm going to pull that up so we can show them.
That first toddler crossover.
He is 69%.
So
He's already at 69% at that. Let's see. Let's pull that up.
It's like, oh my God, I need this book. Let me figure out.
Here we go. Here is as you already see, I'm already pledging. He is at, I'm telling y'all, be careful. Greg already knows. I've pledged everything he's ever had. And Morgan said he needs to know how you got hooked up with George because the idea is fire. So, of course, as you're seeing some of this artwork right here and everything, some of you, if you're familiar with this little character right here, you probably seen some of the little comics with her in that, with her father.
Yeah, beware of toddler.
Yes, beware of toddler. Exactly. Of course, if you're like me and you're about 5 Kickstarters deep in the month already, and you got to watch how your money is, you can start off with pledging $5 or more to get the digital PDF of birthday day, so you can check that out. If you you want a little bit more, they have the digital copies of Birthday and Ballads of Rawhead and John Henry. You can pick that up for a pledge of $8 or more. So there's several different pledge levels based on your budget. Of course, if you're not familiar with Kickstarter, they don't take your money out immediately. Once the Kickstarter ends, that's when you can do it. And if you're like me, if they keep announcing stuff, you're going to be upgrading your pledge. Thank you so much, Michael Watson. I already know my bank has confirmed that money came out. So you come deep, come with it. You're going to find all kind of stuff on this Kickstarter that you can check out, learn about some of the stuff here on his Kickstarter. Look at some of this artwork right here that we got right here. This is a pinup that Greg was just talking about earlier that you can pick up. Of course, there's that artwork done by George again. And of course, we were talking about the issues he's had before here, the 4 issues prior that you can try to pick up on the Kickstarter. Definitely pick these up. You're not going to regret it. You already saw someone else in our messages are in the comments talking about how great these pieces are. So definitely grab one of the pledge levels that give you access to all 4 of these plus birthday days. So definitely check this out. Go once again, we have it in the comment section where you can get the links. You see some of this artwork and everything. So definitely go ahead and taint the, give it just a little bit. Get just salivating, wanting more. Get that more.
Yes.
Let's see. Morgan is asking, did Greg Red Carpet announcer run off all his accolades? No, we gave the Cliff Note version because we wanted to utilize the full hour to talk with Greg. We did not want to use half the time just talking about his accolades and everything that is amazing about Greg. So I'm sorry. We did do the 2-minute Cliff Note version. We had to leave a lot out. I'm sorry.
Greg, you made this one hard. Like, it's so much good stuff in here.
Yes.
Thank you. You could also do add-ons as well. So
my favorite thing.
Yeah. Before I was doing some different stuff to do add-ons, but it seems after a while, Kickstarter caught on with some people having to do add-ons for different ways. So they officially made it a function.
Mm-hmm.
So you can literally just pick and choose the parts that you want.
But I want it all. And he's like, and I have something for you.
we got tiers with every one of them. So
exactly. It's going to be something for everyone. So if you're new to It's Nana, you can pick up that and some of the past comics that Greg has done. This amazing artwork and everything, these prints that he's gotten done from these different artists that he mentioned earlier. Here's the one from his sister, Blossom Blair. Follow her. And then, of course, we got Showtime, the most recent issue that he did on Isnana that he did Kickstarter was earlier last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so this allows you to get a chance to get everything. And then as he was talking about the trading card set, definitely get it. Greg already knows. I got all his trading cards already. I got to see. You got new trading cards with this one?
If you didn't get one from Showtime, then Showtime was the last set that we had.
Okay, I didn't get them with that one, so I have to get that. I need to do that as an add-on. Okay. Gotta update my pledge. And see these, look, there they are. There's some of those trading cards right there. Check out that artwork on that. Yes. All right, Keith said he is out. It's time for him to bag y'all books up for this con this weekend. All right, Keith, thank you for tuning in. But definitely, like we mentioned, you got a bunch of different options. Okay, Morgan says, I need to know if Orlando Jones hit him up yet. Sir, you came all late. We talked about that all. CP time, sir. CP time. Do better. Do better. Do better. I know he's gonna get me next time he sees me. Okay, there's some more of them trading cards. Look at that beautiful artwork right there. And so you have a bunch of different options at different levels based on what you can do, that you can get some of these trading card sets, some of the past issues, and much more, including, oh, here's the one with the drawstring bag. So you can definitely get that beautiful drawstring bag that he showed us earlier. Sorry, Morgan, you missed that too. You're just going to have to deal with what's on the website. Oh my gosh, Morgan! I'm not gonna say that.
Inappropriate.
He's so.
Yeah, okay, watch yourself. You know your boyfriend is watching, and the FBI agent is watching you. He's watching you. Watch yourself. Watch it. But yeah, so we got just like Manuel saying, there's some beautiful artwork done by some very talented people that you worked with. You got some new shirts that people can pick up. If you don't have this shirt that was previously out, you can get this one too. As he was saying, of course, the new shirt, he's got it both in white and black, so this is lovely. And yeah, so you got a bunch of different shirt options. So if you are a collector of shirts and everything, definitely pick up some of these amazing shirts, and much more. So yes, even you see here, if you got a little extra money, go with the 125. Get yourself drawn in the comic. Get yourself immortalized in this issue and everything. So go for it. As we mentioned about the Funko Pop, there you go. You can get your own Isnana to have added if you're a Funko Pop collector. You can grab that.
Are you not going to mention? You're just going to ignore that?
Ignore what?
You won that to be drawn thing?
But what am I ignoring?
Did you win that contest?
Yes, I did. But like I said, I'm just going to split by.
You got people in the chat who are mad at you for that.
I know they are.
And you're trying to avoid that.
Basically, to help y'all understand, Greg had a contest that whoever claimed the #1 spot and getting the first pledge in will win the contest of getting themselves drawn in, and I got the #1 spot. So yeah, there was a lot of conversation and in his announcement. Yes, I'm going to be drawn in there, Morgan. I know you commented and said I saw Morgan and you thought it was me. No, Morgan was the last name, not the first name. I saw specifically it said Morgan. Once again, reading is fundamental. He just skipped over the whole Dana portion and just saw Morgan. Okay. So yes, I am going to be drawn in the book. So yes, I'm kind of. Morgan said, "Bruh, this is racist." So just let y'all know, Morgan has finally said his classic phrase. Of course, as you said, we were saying, if you're a collector of Funko Pops, you got 2 of them of option. You got Isnana. We also have we got his second one right here. You even have the option of getting all 4 shirts as a package. Even the package of getting both of the Funko Pops. And then, as Moana was saying, she wants everything. They have the Everything is Nana package, and almost everything is Anana. So, the almost everything is Nana. You get everything except for being drawn in and getting the Funko Pops and the signed copy, but you get everything else that's listed. So if you want everything else, you can get this package and get everything else in there. So we're so excited. We're definitely looking forward. Definitely pick some of those up. You got plenty of options. If you want everything, like Moana was saying, you got it there. You got your time. Like I mentioned, you don't have to pay for it right when you put your pledge in, so you're good. You have 24 days. 24 days left to go. We want to get Greg to go, not just go. I don't want go. When we hit them 24 days, I want double go. Double. We want to see. I want to see 20. 2000. 20,000. Let's get it to 20,000. 20,000.
Yes. Mr. Nance deserves 20.
Yes. I want us to raise so much money that Mr. Nancy is going to say, he's going to make an appearance on the Moana Nui podcast and says, I'm going to voice a character from this comic, and we're going to make it a digital comic, and you get to hear me talk softly in your ears. Let's do that. Let's raise that money. Let's get Mr. Nancy part of this.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm putting it in the atmosphere. We can do it. All of you watching.
Absolutely.
Tell your mama, tell your cousins, tell your friends, tell your co-workers. Some people still want to give reparations for Juneteenth. Tell them this is the way they can do reparations. Go ahead and put your pledge in.
Absolutely. No, that's totally doable. I mean, this is a great book. And you have back matter too. So, like, it's not like it's your first story. You've been around for a good minute. You definitely deserve a big campaign. Let's help you. So
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. So tell people where they can find you outside the campaign. Where can they check you out? See your little thirst traps. See your
well, his thirst traps, y'all can see that on Instagram.
Oh gosh, well, you can find me on IG, Greg Day DAE. Greg and Elysée on Twitter. You could type Greg A. Elysée on Facebook. I'll pop up as well. I also have a writer's page and his Nana IG page that I created to sort of avoid the thirst trap stuff. And
for the people that just want to talk comics books.
Yes. Because I've had many people going onto the page and not knowing that I was a comic writer, so I had to make it his Nana page.
Yeah, Greg knows there's a backstory behind that. I'm just here for comics comment.
You should have him on the show.
And of course, there's his website that if you want to pick up some of this merchandise that is available on the site, you can go to the website that is right there also.
But go to the Kickstarter. Go to Kickstarter right now. That's where we want you to go.
Exactly.
You can get all the stuff on the Kickstarter too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And with that, Moana, are you ready to do the giveaway?
Oh, yes, I am. Can you do it from your end, though? Because I can't. My iPad.
Girl, you have not told me how to do this. Where is it?
Go to StreamYard.com/giveaway, and it should bring the stuff up.
Okay, here we go. All right. All right. And all right. And then just start collecting comments and then share the screen.
Yep, it should already have the comments
Okay.
collected.
All right, here we go. And let me share the screen to see who our lucky winner is. And let's do this. Let's see. Where are you?
Sorry, sis, I forgot to tell you.
Okay. There we go. All right. And I'm sharing this tab. Okay, here we go. And let's do the drawing. Hopefully it doesn't pick our name. Let's see who our lucky winner is.
Hey!
Gerald, congratulations. Let me screenshot this. Our lucky winner. Now I send it to you, sis.
Morgan.
What is he calling us racist again?
Yes, he is. He said, I don't know what this is, but if I don't win.
It's racist. Sorry, as you see, the system did it. It has nothing to do with us. StreamYard did it. That is all on you, bruh. That's all on you.
So congrats to Gerald. If you're in the US, you will get a physical mystery bundle. If you are international, we will send you something digitally. So just leave us a note in our Moana Nui Podcast Facebook page, or you can send us an email, moananuipodcast@gmail.com, to claim your prize. Congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations. And all.
Alrighty, y'all. Well, we don't want to hold Greg up. I know he has a lot of things to do. And speaking for the two of us, I know we could use some rest. So
yes.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this night and being a part of this. And most especially to Greg for spending some time with us and helping us and our viewers learn more about the world of Isnana. I'm definitely excited to check out Birthday Day and find out some origin stories. So we wish you all the best. Let us know how we can help you at the end when you're in your last push. We'll bring you back on.
Yes. We'll have you come back for our Kickstarter finals so we can kind of do that last week push for you. And then, of course, when you're ready to make a new announcement with Mr. Nancy, just hit us up. Just call me on Facebook. And we'll make it happen. We'll clear out the day. You just let us know what works for you and Mr. Nancy. We'll make it happen.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely follow Greg on his social media platforms that we shared in the chat. And with that, everybody, have a good evening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.